Hi teachers, welcome to Unit 4 of Middle School ENL Standalone Curriculum. This is day 1 of week 1 titled Learning from Struggle. The essential question for this week is, do success and winning always look the same? Do success and winning always look the same? The text they'll be covering this week is called Laura's Key. This is a literary text. It is linked right here. And the lesson objectives for this lesson are to make logical inferences from the close reading of a text and to summarize key ideas and details in a text. As a reminder, these letters next to it just correspond to the standard that they go with. The lesson starts with an opening do-now routine, analyzing an image. So this is an image of 2 soccer players. There are sentence stems at the bottom for students to answer what they see, what they think, and what they wonder. Following that, students will complete a anticipation guide and fill in this before reading column. Soccer is the best sport. If a task is difficult, it's a good idea to give up and try something else. It is easier to be a younger brother or sister than an older brother or sister, and parents help us best when they tell us what we need to hear. So students will agree or disagree with these. This is a discussion activity. So when you teach this to your class, whether you are teaching in person or remote, it may be a good idea for your language learners to have some of those accountable talk stems available to them. So I agree with so-and-so because, I disagree because, one of the reasons I agree is, one of the reasons I disagree is, and addressing their classmates directly when they agree or disagree, and addressing their statements when they agree or disagree. So if your student is agreeing with another person's statement or agreeing with one of the statements below, for example, I agree that soccer is the best sport because it's the sport I play, for example. Or I disagree with Johnny because he said that soccer is not the best sport, and I think that soccer is the best sport because it's a worldwide sport, or something like that. So the discussion part is a really huge component of this activity. So make sure to pay special attention to that and extend that in your class when you conduct this lesson. After that, we move into the text. So the text is linked here, and there are guiding questions at the end of the text. So this comes from Common Lit. You can look at slide 9 of the teacher's guide for more instructions about this specific moment of the lesson. After they finish up the text and the guiding questions, they'll go ahead and get into the discussion questions with their class. So you can choose to maybe put students in breakout rooms. You can choose to have them pre-plan their responses to create more entry points, but you know your students best. Just go with whatever works best for your certain group of students. After that, they will complete a story map. So this is a great visual for what happened in the story, where it takes place, who was in it, what the conflict was, and what the resolution was. So you could assign this slide, you could turn it into a Google Doc. This presentation is found in the Video Adapted Resources folder for this week. So here, if you assign the slide, students could type directly on it, answering these questions. But you could also opt to turn this into a Google Doc if it's easier for students to respond there. All of these hyperlinks describe what these literary terms are, so another resource for students to have. Finally, we get to the closing and connecting. The extend the learning is a writing activity. So the extend the learning is the sort of non-negotiable that you definitely want to pick up with your students. Do you agree or disagree with this claim? The only way to get better at something is to practice. So the literary term claim is linked right there if students have questions about what that means. So you can definitely create a discussion question on Google Classroom. You can create a Google Doc, or if you wanted to create a guided notes document for this lesson or for this week, that's definitely an option as well. Lots of ways to scaffold this, but in the meantime, let's get started on this lesson together. All right, so this is week 1, day 1. Week 1 is titled Learning from Struggle, and this unit is called Growing Stronger. Our essential question is, do success and winning always look the same? We'll be reading a text called Laura's Key, and that is a literary text. And can I have a friend read the lesson objectives for me nice and loud? Thank you. To make logical inferences from the close reading of a text, so that means we're reading a text and really trying to decipher what it means, and to summarize key ideas and details in a text. So that means we're trying to get to the bottom of what happened in a text and give a sort of short explanation, a summary, a short explanation. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a look at this picture and let us know what you see, what you think, and what you wonder. So wherever your teacher would like you to complete this, please go there and pause this video now. All right, welcome back. I hope that you were able to complete at least one sentence for each question of what you saw, what you thought, and what you wondered. And definitely ask your teacher if you had any questions about that. We are going to move on to the next activity, which is our before the reading. So we have 4 different statements here. Soccer is the best sport. If a task is difficult, it's a good idea to give up and try something else. It is easier to be a younger brother or sister than an older brother or sister. And number 4, parents help us best when they tell us what we need to hear. So what you are going to do wherever your teacher has determined you're going to catch all your answers today, you're going to say whether you agree or disagree with these statements. So agree, yes, I think that's what it is, or disagree, no, I don't. I'm not feeling that statement, or I don't think that statement is true. So go ahead and complete that. Tell us whether you agree or disagree with each statement. Once you do that, you are going to have a discussion with your class. So be ready to share with your classmates why you agree or disagree with these 4 statements here. Go ahead and pause the video here to tell us whether you agree or disagree with the 4 statements and to discuss with your classmates. Please pause now. All right, friends, I hope you had a great discussion with your class about these 4 kind of controversial statements. I think especially soccer is the best sport is definitely a little controversial. We're going to read the Set the Purpose. So this week we're going to read a short story about Laura, a girl who loves playing soccer but wants to get better. So let's read to identify her struggle. All right, so the text is linked in this presentation and your teacher will definitely give you the text to read. There's also a recording of the text so you can listen to it while you read. You're going to respond to the guiding questions at the end of the text, and then you are going to respond to these discussion questions and have a nice little discussion with your classmates again. So go ahead and pause this video here so you can read the text, respond to the guiding questions, and then finally address the discussion questions. Please pause the video now. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed reading about Laura and her sort of struggle with whether or not she should continue playing soccer. So now you're going to fill out a story map. So wherever your teacher would like you to complete this activity, please go there. And we're going to answer some questions about setting, characters, conflict, and resolution. So we have some questions here in the middle. So you're going to tell us where this story takes place, when the story takes place. You're going to describe Laura for us, the main character. You're going to describe Tony and Laura's mother. Then you're going to let us know what Laura is struggling with. And then you're going to make a prediction. So something that hasn't happened yet. How will Laura feel at the end of the story? And why? So please pause the video now and complete that. All right. Welcome back. To close out our lesson today, we are going to take a look at this extend the learning question. Do you agree or disagree with this claim? The only way to get better at something is to practice. I'm going to read that one more time. The only way to get better at something is to practice. Which words might impact whether you agree or disagree with the claim? So wherever your teacher has told you to do so, please write a response to whether you agree or disagree with that claim. Great job today, and we will see you for the next lesson.